we got arena and solo cash cup drop spots for everybody. If you like to land hot, if you want some fights off the bat but not too many, or if you just want to chill and be alone and have a nice relaxed drop spot, this video is for you. We have 2 of each kind and I'm going to talk you through each and every single one of them. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's get right to it. Alright, let's start with the hot spots, then we'll go medium, and then go to your chill alone spots afterwards. First of all, we're going to Greasy Grove, because I've noticed at least 3 or so players land here every single match. Now, your goal is going to be landing at Main or the Burger Hut. That is your goal because you want to be landing there for the chests and the overall loot. These are the best 2 buildings at Greasy. Then, once you get your loot settled and you've won at least your building, you want to force yourself to the outside of these fights. A lot of times you can very easily third party and clean up one of these fights, but what you have to do is make sure you don't get stuck in the middle of it and get sprayed from 2 different players. After you've done that and you've won the entire Greasy drop, you want to go start farming gold. Now, the reason you want to farm gold is because the NPC here allows you to purchase the ability to reveal the next storm. Now, that is huge, especially in solo cash cups, but even in arena, it is super nice to see where next storm comes, and you could easily get over 200 gold. It's going to cost you 175 to purchase this, but easily going to be able to get this at least once. If you get first storm, wait until second storm appears, buy third storm, that way you have even further info. And if you continue to pull storm, you don't necessarily have to buy this right away, and you can just get some foresight and vision into the future using this. That is why I like Greasy as a hot drop. One, you're going to be able to get some elims, there's tons of chug splashes, you have all the materials, there's lots of vehicles, and lastly, you can purchase some vision to know where storm is going to go. Next up, we have Command Cavern, and I'm going to show you a specific route that I like that allows me to get really good loot, consistently win it, and then also grab the vault and sneak on out of there. This is what I've found. You land on this southern side, grab this top spot. You can even just go straight down to the slurp truck down below if you're fully uncontested, but I do like to land above because sometimes it winds up leading into free elims. After that, you go straight in, you take a right, you grab your IO chest, and that should at least give you a decent bit of baseline loot. Then I like to grab a chest or 2 along the way and tail right into the scanner. The scanner is going to give you some info as to where other players are. You also are going to be able to get another IO chest right there, and then by now you should have plenty of loot to go either fight an opponent that's nearby and trying to prevent you from getting the vault, because ultimately the vault is the goal. Or there's going to be nobody there. You could take out the NPC, grab the card, and go down into the vault. Once you're in the vault, make sure you're using either metal or brick to protect yourself. Throw ramps or cones that are edited in the way so you can see if someone's hiding, because a lot of times when doing this, people try and sneak you while coming out of the vault. So make sure you're protecting yourself, and you grab the vault loot, you get yourself out of there, boom, you're stacked for this game. You might even have a few elims along the way, because typically Command Cavern is pretty hot. Now we have the medium drop spot, someplace where you might be able to fight if you want to, or you can disengage, grab some loot, and you don't necessarily have to. One of the places I like is the dig site to the east, but instead of landing right on the dig site, I like to land on the IO base right above and then shoot myself down. That way you have the high ground when this starts if someone is going to be landing at the same spot as you. Once you go ahead, loot up, you're going to be able to get a decent bit of mats, basically everything you need right in this one area between the dig site, the IO base, and the house to the north. You're going to be able to get all your mats, and you can either go in to Coney, you can go into Tilted and find a third party, look for some fights if you want them, or you can just go disengage. There's also a ton of movement here. You have the different cannons that you can shoot yourself out of, you have a truck, and you also have an IO car that you can take on as well. Or if you want and you're greedy, you can go ahead and look for more loot, but overall what this area gives you should be enough loot, and you should be good enough to play the game out. The other medium or average spot that I've picked out is Chonkers. Typically, you're going to have one, maybe two people landing here, but it's a place where you don't necessarily have to fight one another. That is what I really like about it, and there's enough loot for at least 3 people here without having to fight for specific places. I like to land on this far east side. This is basically Queasy's solo route from what I saw last season, and we don't need to go too far in depth with this. I have a full video breaking down Chonkers from last season. It is the same exact POI right now, but you have the chug splashes, you have the vehicles for rotates, and you have tons of loot. That's why I like this spot. Now let's talk about the more relaxed spots where you don't have to fight off spawn or necessarily have to worry about other players contesting you. There's the 7 Outpost all the way in the northwest corner. It's kind of central, I guess, but northwest of Camp Cuddle. It gives you the ability to get a couple of different weapons and then rotate into several fishing areas. I've seen a lot of people do different heal off strats from this side or this particular area of the map. So if you're looking for a heal off strategy, this is going to be the place because of all the fishing, and there's a lot of overall loot that you can get. From this area, I like to hit the north side, make my way down to the south. You can start at the gas station on the south, as there's going to be some slurp barrels for free shield, or you can land wherever you want because it doesn't necessarily matter where you start out here. Overall, after you do this, you could rotate into Camp Cuddle, command Cavern, and take whatever's left over, but this spot is going to give you enough material and the ability to get a car with chonker tires on it out of the gas station for your rotates. You can continue fishing or do whatever you want after you've hit your initial loot path. Last but certainly not least is the Malibu Split. This is on the far eastern side, and it gives you a lot of flexibility because if you Archon, there's essentially 3 or 4 different spots in this area that you're going to be able to land at to avoid contesting somebody. But if you have the best drop, go ahead, contest somebody, get a free elim. Nonetheless, I don't expect this to be as contested as last season because there's no longer Spider-Man right there, and you have the ability to disengage because of the various different drop spots you can land at. If you're able to get the gas station, it's the best of your options, but if you can't, there's obviously other places. There's rifts nearby, you have boats, you have vehicles that you can take, so there's a lot of movement in this area, just not the Spider-Man like there was last season, and you will be able to get more than enough loot. You may think that this is a little loot shallow, but there's actually a ton of chests in this area and floor spawns. You just have to practice and figure out what your paths are. If you want, you can even go and rotate into the Joneses and look for a third party. Now, it depends on how you want to play this, but it has the option for you to get full material, to get a good loadout, and to then just play for endgame. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go check out this next one that YouTube says you'll like, and I will see you guys next time.